Hello, collective. Welcome. This is Divine Empress 71. I'm coming back at you to do another reading. I hope you guys are doing well. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Happy Thursday to you as well. I hope all is well. All right, let's see. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for collective today? All right, what we have? Ten of Wands. Sagittarius energy. Ten of Wands. Hmm. Uh, Collective. Some of you may be bogged down with a lot of responsibilities, and you may find them to be a bit burdened, like they are burdening you. Um, hmm. You may need to, what Spirit is saying is to set boundaries, set some sort of boundaries so you can be able to deal with the burnout. That you can get over it. Hmm. Um, some of you have you may be single and you do a lot of, all these responsibilities are actually all on you. Nobody, you're not really receiving help from others. It's just you. Some of you get help, you may receive help, from others, but then some of you don't. You are, whatever these burdens are, you are dealing with them on your own. Hmm. What else? Seven of Wands. Leo energy. Are you competing against someone, collective, or is somebody competing against you? Somebody could be trying to compete against you to throw you off your game, to knock you off whatever you are focused on. But Spirit wants you to stay focused and don't give up. You have to have courage. Yeah, it's somebody that's competing against you, or either you them. But they doing it to try to they may be trying to. It could be a test to knock you off your focus, knock you off your game, so to speak. I have the Lovers in reverse. This is Gemini energy. You could have went through some sort of separation from from someone, from a connection. There could have been a lot of uncertainty in this connection. Yeah, there could have been a lot of uncertainty with this person, whoever this person was. So there was a disconnect. You may have disconnected yourself from whoever this was simply because there was no happiness, there was no fulfillment. That relationship could have been bogged down with burdens. Mm-hmm. Yep. And competition. Because sometimes lovers, people who are in relationships with one another often compete against each other. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hmm. I don't know. You could have boundaries in place with this person too. Whoever this it was or is, you could have boundaries with them. And for some of you guys, when you was with this person, like when you guys were together, this person could have placed a lot of responsibilities on you. You know, like left you carrying the biggest of the load, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hmm. What else? Spirit. What else? Temperance is here. Sagittarius energy. Yeah. I think that some of you guys really are learning to like uh you are really learning to like temper the ego. Um yeah, and focus on inner growth and learning. Um and and just kind of being at a balance, some of you just want harmony, and you just want peace. um and just trying to keep a equal balance of that, you know hmm making sure that you are learning from the lessons, um from the past, maybe even learning lessons right now. I mean, of course, we know that, I believe that as long as we are alive, there will always be lessons to learn. That's how I feel about it. But you know what else, spirit? What else do we have for collective? mm. Six of wands. Yeah, six of wands, Leo energy. hmm okay. You guys could have you walking away from this person, disconnecting yourself uh over time, that could have brought you some sort of victory, a time of happiness and fulfillment. you know um is going to be granted to you. It's going to be promised to you because you did the work. You've been doing the inner work. You removed yourself from a situation that wasn't healthy for you. It wasn't fair to you. um no fulfillment from it. So yeah, and this is just spirit's way of blessing you, with happiness and fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Because you chose to do the work and let something go, let somebody go. um Sometimes, we have to sacrifice something to get something. You know what I mean? Whether it be a relationship or whatever the case may be. It could be many things. But sometimes we do have to give, you know, we have to just allow God to close that door so he can open up another one, you know? And that looks like that's what's going on. You may be recognized, um, or maybe being rewarded too for, you know, other contributions that you make, like, on your job. Maybe you may be coming up for a raise, or maybe you got some sort of award, maybe some sort of certificate or something like that. Um, hmm. Some of you could be in the spotlight too, as well. um, where you may have a, you may have a platform. Yeah. So, hmm. What else? Hmm. Five of Swords. Yep. Aquarius energy. So, an Aquarius could be significant. Some of you had to learn that, or maybe this person that you walked away from, but someone had to learn that fighting is not always the best way to solve some sort of dispute. It's not always the best way to solve some disagreements. You know, you have to find it's good to find other ways to solve a conflict, or a disagreement or whatever. Hmm. But somebody though, this mm, I believe that you walked away from a person that might have been someone who was petty. Yeah. Um, and they could be in some sort of regret or remorse about it too. Uh, this person could have been somebody who was a drama starter. They could have been somebody who was real quick to want to fight. Want to go back and forth, arguments. Hmm. The Fool in reverse. Huh. Yeah. What is this? Aquarius. Aquarius energy. Uh, you may be considering, being more careful these days, about the pros and cons of different endeavors that you may pursue. Because sometimes, just because something could be meant for you, but it doesn't always mean that now is the right time. Mm-hmm. It might be meant for you later, further down the road. Yeah. So spirit wants you guys to be, careful about, you know, always look at the pros and cons of any, um, opportunity. If it's a new opportunity, let's just say, it's a business endeavor. Consider the pros and cons of that. How is it going to benefit you? How is it going to work against you? You know, what are the challenges of it? You know, and of course, relationships can be the same way. So, what else? Page of Cups in reverse. Ah, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Hmm. Some of you may be some of you may be a little guarded, maybe, these days. Mm-hmm. Because some of you have experienced rejection, hurt, pain, and you fear rejection. Mm-hmm. But see, the thing about those past hurts, if you don't try to do something about those and heal those, let go of the hurt, make peace with it, it will lead you to, like, you know, mistrust, doubt. You're gonna be real quick to doubt, real quick to judge, real quick to mistrust. you know, and then you may miss out on your greatest blessing because of that, you know, because of what you went through in your past. Hmm. Yeah. This fear of rejection could have been something that, you know, some of you may have wrestled with for a long time. Some of you may be still struggling to overcome it. And then there are some of you who may not, you know. But either way, though, collective, let it go. Let it go. Try. Try and let it go. What else? Okay. Justice is here. Libra energy? Yeah. Justice. Hmm. I don't know. You may have, when you walked away from this person, or maybe right before you done it, you know, you probably wrestle with whether or not you was making the right decision, maybe in the beginning, even when you was contemplating on separating yourself from whoever this was. uh but sometimes making the right decision does sometimes require us to be you know, balanced. Being balanced, being in a clear mindset, a clear mind state to do it. But this is also about reaping what you sow too. Mm-hmm. You may have had to reap some things, you know, from this connection, from this situation. Of course, this person, they probably did too. I'm quite sure they did. Hmm. Yeah, some of you, some of you may feel like you were treated unfairly in the past, or maybe in this past connection, um, or in any situation. Maybe you could be dealing with this now, feeling like, you know, you're being, you know, unfairly treated. But as we say, you reap what you sow. Just make sure that if you are going through this right now, if you are dealing with this right now, just make sure that you are going to make the right decision, the decision that is best for you, but do it with a balanced and clear mind. Because whoever has wronged you or is doing it, that yes, they will reap that. Because the justice card does speak about reaping. So, what else? The tower. Huh. This is Aries and Scorpio energy. Of course, water and fire. Mm. So some of you may had to go through some drastic changes, you know, in order for you, but you had to grow from that, you know. You had to grow from that, because sometimes growth follows destruction, or destruction follows growth, you know. um, yeah. This was a learning lesson. So what don't necessarily break you. It just makes you stronger. And I feel like that's what happened to some of you. This made you stronger. These situations, these past issues that you may have experienced that wasn't fair to you, that it was a learning lesson. Um, you got your own set of justice from it because it it could have propelled you, excelled you to the next level. Some of you are in a much better place now than what you was way back when or way back then, even when you was dealing with this person. Hmm. You could have, you know, in the beginning, for some of y'all, you could have resisted the change, but then you may have realized that the longer you resist the change, the more suffering that you had to endure. Mm-hmm. So some of you, you just let go. You let go because, like, as I was saying, it wasn't serving you none. It wasn't serving you none. Um, it was holding you back. The situation, the person, whatever, it was holding you back. Um, Blocking you from your goals, your purpose, whatever that is. The Sun card. Hmm. And Leo energy. So the Sun card is always a good card, especially if it's in the upright. Uh, some of you are divinely guided. You are divinely protected. Um, because you was willing to walk away from something that was no longer serving you. Whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, for some of you, success is going to follow you. It's going to follow you no matter what the endeavor may be. It's going to follow you. You are blessed, and you're going to be even more blessed. Because you have to trust, collective, that you deserve success. Just like anybody else. Yeah. But sometimes we can delay things by the way we think, the people who we attach ourselves to, having the fear of letting go and trying to move on from something that wasn't good for you in the first place, in order for you, to excel. But sometimes what may be delays are not always necessarily failures. As I was saying earlier, sometimes some things there are some things that can be meant for you, but just not meant for you at the present time. God has another season and time for that. Yeah. So until that time comes, then you just keep doing the work. The inner working on you until you get there. Until you get there. Hmm. Let's see. Let's get another one. Spirit. What else? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. This is Virgo energy. Mm. So just whatever your goals are, collective, just remain steadfast and in those goals. Yeah. And just make sure that you persevere, overcome all the challenges that is going to arise as you try to achieve these goals, accomplish these goals. Whatever it is going to bring you wealth. It's going to bring you money. Yep, it's going to bring you money. And you know, and some of you may, you know, spirit wants you to kind of, you know, step outside the box a little bit, you know, and not be so stubborn about things, because you know, stubbornness will prevent you from achieving whatever those goals are as well. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It will. All right. Let's see. Let's get one more. The moon. Pisces energy. Follow your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your feelings. And pay attention to your instincts. Dreams do have messages in them. I know for a fact they do. Yeah. This was I guess this was back in 2022. God showed me in a dream that I was going to have an assignment with a family member. So the way the dream, what happened in the dream was, it was at nighttime. I you know, kind of weird, but it was at nighttime, and I was riding a bike, and I was riding down Main Street. There's a street called Main Street here in the city where I live, in downtown, in the downtown area. It's like one of the main roads that lead to downtown. So and my parents' house is over there in that area. It's not on Main Street, but it's in that area. That's where I was going. I was riding my bike at night, going toward my parents' house. All right. All of a sudden, I noticed that as I'm riding my bike, it was getting harder and harder to pedal, you know, like pull. And so I felt, you know, something else, you know, maybe, you know, that was sitting on the bike or whatever. And so I turned around, and it was my sister. My sister, her name is Betty. And so me and Betty, we're about 4 years apart. And Betty is she's disabled. She has some mental challenges that she deals with. So she's always had to have somebody in the family, you know, to look out for her, you know, to kind of, you know, manage things for her, basically, you know, finances, you know, things like that. And so when my mother was alive, my sister lived with my mother, and basically my mother took care of those things for her. My mother passed away in 2016, and then my oldest sister took over. Um, and so my sister Betty stayed with her, I guess, about 6 years, I guess. And then eventually, my oldest sister, she passed away. And so, and that was in January of 23. And so, but back in 22, God showed me in a dream that I was going to have to be the next family member to step up and help my sister Betty. I saw it. I saw it in the dream. And a friend of mine at the time, I was talking to him about it, and he clarified it. You know what the Holy Spirit had already shown me. But yeah, we riding. I had to carry her. That's what the bike ride was showing me. That you're gonna have to carry your sister. So yeah, but um, hmm, yeah, but you definitely gotta pay attention to your dreams. Yeah, pay attention to them. Pay attention to your feelings, your instincts, everything. A lot of times when a lot of times when that feeling comes from within, then you right, because it's coming from within. Yeah. Hmm. Don't ever ignore your intuition. Mm-mm. Because it can and will lead to disappointment. I know because I've been there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the bottom of the deck, I have Five of Wands. Five of Wands energy. This is Leo. This is Leo energy. Um, Fighting and ego. You know, um, that that causes a discontent. Between you and the other person. Um, yeah. You don't have time to go back and forth with people when you are on your purpose. When you are on your purpose and you are living in your purpose, working in your purpose, you don't have time to be going back and forth with nobody. Whoever is not supporting you, then leave them over there. Leave them by the wayside, collective. Cut them off if you have to. Yeah. You got to stay, you got to stay objective about it. But that fighting and clashing of the egos, and you know everybody wants to prove that they're right and prove that you're wrong and all that. No. Get in your purpose. You don't, because you don't have time for this. If um, if a compromise can be made, then cool. That's good. But if not, then oh well. You know. Uh, but just be mindful of who you can trust and who you can't. Yeah. And whatever challenges that may come from it, just make sure that you can adapt to it. Rise above it, adapt to it, and keep going. Yeah. Um, let's get a message from Spirit Collective, and then we'll close this out. I hope you guys got something from this today. I hope you did. All right. Spirit, what message do we have for collective today? What is it that you want collective to know, please? What is it that you want collective to know? Self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spread time. And spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Wow. Meditate. Listen to your favorite music. Whatever you enjoy most, do it today. Collective. They want you to do it today. At the bottom of the deck, they say, don't allow negative emotions to fester. Don't let it build up. If you are feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that. Just acknowledge whatever that is, basically. Instead of fighting, instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. Wow. That's a positive, powerful message. That's a good message. Yeah. Just acknowledge, what's going on with self. Acknowledge that. Accept it for what it is, and then you can work on that and conquer that, overcome it. Yeah. So, collective, that's all I have for this reading. If this reading blessed you, give me a like, a comment. Feel free to share. If you have not subscribed, please do. I would love to have you guys. And for those of you who's donated to the channel, thank you. Thank you for the blessing. And those of you who's donated to Cash App, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So until next time, collective, blessings to all of you. I pray that God bless and keep all of you. And I will see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.